Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy, Kevin Forte, and we are taking a look today at the New York Islanders. Yes, of course, we're looking at the Islanders once again today, and we're looking at the Islanders because they are rumored to be making some moves here after the expansion draft. They've already made a couple moves here ahead of the expansion draft, but there may be more on the horizon here from Lou Lamoriello's club on Long Island. We'll be looking at that right now. So let's get right into it. So the New York Islanders are rumored to be making some moves. Now, we saw before the expansion draft and the roster freeze, they traded out Nick Leddy, moving out $5 million in cap space right there. They were able to move on from Andrew Ladd's $5.5 million cap hit for this season and next. So now the Islanders have $19 million in cap space. Now, it's definitely a better look for the Islanders right now, as you have a couple guys that you have to re-sign. That is part of it here. You have Ilya Sorokin that has to be re-signed. You have guys like Adam Pelech on the back end and Anthony Beauvillier up front. Those are really the three key pieces. Now, if the Islanders want to bring back some of their UFAs like Kyle Palmieri, Travis Zajac, please don't. Casey Cizikas, they still may have a couple. They have $4 million to keep those guys around. At the end of the day, let's say they gave out $5 million to each of Pelech, Beauvillier, and Sorokin. That's not what it's going to come out to, but I think at the end of the day, with the three of them combined, it's going to be around 15. So the Islanders will have around $4 million for the other guys. But the Islanders, remember here, they could also move on from another guy here. A lot of people are expecting here in the expansion draft for the Seattle Kraken to take one of Josh Bailey or Jordan Eberle, who the Islanders left unprotected. Now, at those cap hits, it's either Jordan Eberle's $5.5 million cap hit per season or Josh Bailey's $5 million cap hit per season. So the Islanders could potentially move out $24 million here and have $24 million of cap space to work with to re-sign Anthony Beauvillier, Adam Pelech, Ilya Sorokin, Casey Cizikas, or Kyle Palmieri, and potentially have room for a big fish. And a lot of people, big hockey insiders, are saying a team in the Eastern Conference is rumored to be going after a big name. So I'm kind of making this, building up the hype for this. So we're going to go, before we get into that though, we're going to go into some other trades that we're hearing about. So let's say the Seattle Kraken select a guy like Kiefer Bellows or Sebastian Aho, or they take Ken Appleby because he sounds like Applebee's. Whatever reason, they don't end up taking Eberle or Josh Bailey. Well, the Islanders have been rumored to be talking to the LA Kings about taking Jordan Eberle to the LA Kings. The LA Kings, obviously this summer, they already added Victor Arvidsson. They're looking to add more scoring depth to their roster and to trying to get a little bit faster up front. And a guy like Jordan Eberle can definitely do that. You add Arvidsson and a guy like Jordan Eberle, that definitely adds a lot of speed and scoring to your top six to play alongside some of your young centers coming up. Guys like Alex Turcotte and Quentin Byfield. So this makes a lot of sense here. Rasmus Kupari, all those guys. So this makes sense here for the LA Kings to be going after a guy like Jordan Eberle. Now, what if there's a situation where the Islanders lose him to the Seattle Kraken? Well, then there you go. Then that deal's done. They lose him to Seattle. That's it. But why would the Islanders want to still move out cap space? Because if they have $19 million right now, aren't they done, right? They're done. They don't need to move out cap. They could probably sign their other guys and still have $4 million in cap space. And that's when I say, hold on a minute. The Islanders could still look at the big name. And that big name is out of the Colorado Avalanche, Gabriel Landeskog. And the rumor is the Islanders are going heavily after Gabriel Landeskog. Now, the rumored price is 7-year deal, $8 million per season. So a $56 million contract to Gabriel Landeskog. Now, there is a little bit of risk in that move, especially for the Islanders, because they already have a guy like that in a sense, in Andersley. Now, Andersley isn't as mobile and as good of a shooter as a guy like Gabriel Landeskog. No discredit to the captain of the New York Islanders, but he is not the same player as Gabriel Landeskog. I think we can all agree on that. But you're looking at a situation where if the Islanders add a guy like that, the Islanders have swung on wingers before. They've gone after, that big name forward. They lost John Tavares in free agency. That doesn't seem like that big of a loss. Artemi Panarin said he was going to go to the Islanders, and he ends up going to the Rangers. Honestly, that one doesn't look too bad either. And then they were going hard after Mark Stone. And if the Ottawa Senators weren't giving up Eric Brandstrom, the Ottawa Senators were going to take Anthony Beauvillier and a first for Mark Stone. So the Islanders have gone after those guys before. But Mark Stone, I love Mark Stone, but if the Islanders pick up a guy like Gabe Landeskog here in free agency, sounds pretty good. And the Islanders could definitely give a good pitch to the Avs captain. Hey, listen, we have the money. We could play under. You could play under our style. You fit well with our system. A big hitting guy. You just fit with our system. Did you not see the fans in the playoffs? They're pretty rabid, so you've got a rabid fan base behind you. You're going to make $8 million per season, which is the minimum of what Landy wants to make. Oh, yeah, and not to mention, this team has gone to the conference finals the last 2 years and lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning. And you could argue the past 2 seasons, the only team that came anywhere close to beating the Tampa Bay Lightning in the postseason were the New York Islanders. So Landeskog definitely has some reason to think that the Islanders could be a good suitor for him. Now, there are other teams in the picture as well. The Boston Bruins could be in the mix. Obviously, the New York Rangers, because the Rangers are in the mix for everybody. You're talking about maybe even the Devils. They have a lot of cap space, but again, they can't sell the same thing that the Islanders do. You have Lou, you have the new building, and you have a team that's been successful, has a large fan base, and they do have the cap space. Not many teams around the league are going to be able to compete with that. And I think the Vegas Golden Knights are another team that could be in that mix. But again, I think they're more focused on the center thing, trying to add centers. And we already saw them do that a little bit, adding guys like Brett Howden and Nolan Patrick. So the Islanders seem like a really good fit for Landeskog. The question is Landeskog staying loyal to the Colorado Avalanche? And maybe he takes more of a discount. Because you got to remember, the Avalanche have to re-sign Cale Makar this summer, who Miro Heiskanen just made $8.45 per season. You could argue that at least Cale Makar makes between $8.5 and $9 million per season. So where's the cap space to keep a guy like Landeskog? And not to mention, Nathan MacKinnon's $5.5 million per season deal ends next summer. So they have to re-sign Nathan MacKinnon as well. So is Landeskog the guy that falls off and they can't keep? That just may be the case. And there are rumors he may just go to the New York Islanders. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Islanders fans, would you like to see Landeskog go to the Islanders? Would you like to see one of Jordan Eberle or Josh Bailey traded? Maybe to the LA Kings out of the Eastern Conference, because he is a pretty good player. So maybe keep him off the East Coast. And I mean, honestly, this is like a big deal, because if Gabe Landeskog is really thinking about going to the Islanders, this may be that missing piece that everybody's been saying that the Islanders need. They need that scoring guy. They need that scoring guy. Well, you pluck a guy like Gabe Landeskog off of free agency at $8 million per season with the talent that he has. This may be the Islanders' year, and they might finally get that elite scoring winger. So let me know what you guys think down below. And if you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL and more rumor videos just like this one, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.